Hello, this is Shindo.
And this is Lucifera.
Today we're going to be talking about Albert Pike, a man who has been vilified by Christians and conspiracy theorists because he is, in the classic sense of the word, a Luciferian. Luciferian is not a Satanist. We're not going to be delving into this for the, umpteenth time. If you're listening to this and you still think a Luciferian and a Satanist are the same thing, then you really have no business being on our channel. Or perhaps you have yet to discover the truths behind Luciferianism. And if that's the case, if you have yet to discover those, then we have many videos here about this. Lucifer is, of course, another name for the bright morning star who has also been attributed to the Christ himself. So when we say Luciferian, we are speaking of a deity or an energy that is of a light source, something that used correctly brings enlightenment to the mind. So that's basically what a Luciferian is. Now, as far as Albert Pike is concerned.
Albert Pike was a Freemason who wrote books. One in particular is Morals and Dogma. From Wikipedia, Albert Pike, December 29th, 1809, April 2nd, 1891, was an attorney, soldier, writer, and Freemason. Albert Pike is the only Confederate military officer or figure to be honored with the statue in Washington, D.C.
As Lucy already mentioned, again from Wikipedia, it says, notably he published a book called Morals and Dogma of the Ancient and Accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry in 1871, of which there were several subsequent editions. Now it is this particular book and the quote from the book that we're going to be discussing today. Now notice here that this was written in 1871. All right, so here I'll read this quote for you here up on the screen. The Third World War must be fomented between the political Zionist and the leaders of Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam and political Zionism mutually destroy each other. The multitude, disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal, will receive the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out in the public view, which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. Albert Pike, 1871. Let's put this in perspective. This is written more than 40 years before the First World War. It's written more than 30 years before the advent of what we now think of as the Zionist movement, which was started by Herzl. If you want to look into that, it's good to understand the history here. Okay, so he's referring to a Third World War more than 40 years before the First World War. It's funny how all the Christians who come out and have given all kinds of predictions, and here we have a Luciferian who's making a more correct prediction than any Christian ever has. Says the war must be conducted in such a way that Islam and political Zionism mutually destroy each other. Let's understand something. Let's put this in perspective. Many of you may be very surprised to hear this, but in 1871, Islam and the Jews were not at war with each other. A matter of fact, up until the 20th century, The Christians were really the ones who were persecuting the Jews. This is historical fact. Look it up for yourselves. In 1871, there wasn't even a Zionist movement, not a organized Zionist movement for sure. And the Jews, under Muslim rule in the Middle East, were treated better than the Jews who were under Western rule in Europe by the Christians. So here we have a man who's seeing something well into the future. And if you can't see right now what's going on with Islam and Zionism mutually destroying each other, you need to be paying attention, of course, if you can't see that going on right now. Now, on this side of the globe and in the Western world, let's look at this. The multitude disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal. This is this time right now he's referring to. More than 140 years later, we're seeing exactly what it is he's referring to. The multitude disillusioned with Christianity. I think everyone knows what's going on right now in Kentucky. This isn't a gay marriage thing. This is a let's expose the Christians for who they truly are thing.
Look at the way Christians are today. They're insane. They're saying all kinds of things that don't even make sense anymore. They attack people. They attack the innocent. They lie constantly.
I doubt there's as many, or there's very few people out there on YouTube that are attacked more vehemently and more on a regular basis than Lucy and I are. And now, fantastic. Christians, you are doing exactly what you need to do to get the world to hate you. But let's just get this straight. They don't hate you because of your beliefs, okay? They don't hate you because you believe Jesus Christ was the only Son of God and that he rose from the dead after being tortured and killed. He rose from the dead 3 days later. That's not why people hate you. They hate you because you're
bigoted,
full of such hatred yourselves. There's barely a day that goes by that I don't say something to a Christian and they're just shocked. Why are they so shocked at what I say to them? Because they've never heard it before. I and Lucy are told every day practically that we're going to go to hell. And anyone who says that, you have a lot of nerve to tell anyone that. I've gone my entire life without ever telling someone you're going to hell. I've said go to hell before, but I've never said you are going to hell and meant it. And if you think that's love, Christians, no. It's the opposite of love.
You think you are you bring up free will a lot. You think this is free will? This is not free will. You're forcing your beliefs on others. You are torturing people's souls. And this is a great crime.
You are supposed to stay out of the world's problems, but you stick your nose right in it. And this isn't the way Christians always were, folks. Even let's say 60 years ago, back in the 50s, early 60s, Christians weren't involved in politics. They weren't out there doing all this crap they are today. And why? Because they knew that they were not supposed to be of the world. I mean, we can spend 30 minutes talking about everything about Christians and what they've been doing, but we've done that plenty of times. What is really interesting here is how the iron is hot right now. The iron is hot and it's ready to be molded. Finally, in the, I'll say, 4 solid years that I've been doing this, I'm finally seeing the tables have been turned, and people are witnessing what Lucy and I have been witnessing for years. Christians are, I'll be nice and say, many Christians are, and especially the ones we meet on YouTube. Christians are hateful, they're divisive, they feel that they have to push their agenda on everyone else. And now everybody can see them for what they are. Those of you who are sitting on the fence and saying, oh no, well, the Christians don't generally act this way. Well, no, yes, they do generally act this way. You could say American Christians, you could say Christian fundamentalists, but the truth is there's a spirit there. There's this dark spirit in their soul and in their mind, and you could see it plain as day. Something Lucy and I have been seeing for quite some time now. So this is where we are. Because people are without a compass or directions, anxious for an ideal. And they are now open, as he put it, back in 1871, they will receive the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out in the public view, which is what Lucy and I are desperately trying to do. You have tried so hard, those of you out there who have come against us, and there's just hundreds of you. You have tried so hard to shut us up, but we haven't shut up yet, have we? Notice this says the manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer. It does not say that somehow Lucifer as an entity is going to come, because that's what Christians are expecting. This Antichrist, this beast, this man. And we are those who understand the Luciferian doctrine. We're not looking for a specific person, because this is not about personality, but about the doctrine of Lucifer.
There is an energy, there is something here that Christians hate so much. They are trying to destroy this energy, this light. This energy, this light is within the awakened ones. We are here, we are Lucifer, and they hate it. There is something so powerful, so strong, they just cannot take it. The Bible says that the world hates hates the light, and they love darkness.
Mm-hmm. Someone just automatically, just like that, flicks and starts coming against you simply because, in Lucy's case, her name is Lucifera. You know there's something to that name. And that's the reason why she uses the name, which happens to be her name, but that's the reason why she uses this name, so that she can push it and push it and push it, get those demons inside of you Christians to manifest themselves.
And I thought the name Jesus was supposed to cast out demons. It seems the name Lucifer or even Lucifera, it just seems to scare those demons, and they just want to attack you like crazy.
Just keep in mind, those of you who do support us, things are changing, and you should be able to see it clear as day. Things are changing. The Christians are coming out as the hateful, vindictive, mean-spirited, demonically influenced people they are, and people are seeing them for who they are. So hang in there.
They are truly Satan. And what does Satan mean? Accuser, adversary.
Adversary to human beings. They are adverse, they are in enmity towards the human spirit.
Do not be afraid of the name Lucifer. Lucifer means light, light bearer. So I find it to be a healing energy, to heal your soul.
So keep in mind, those of you who understand truly what the Luciferian path is, the Gnostic path, that we are winning at this point, and they are exposing themselves for who they are.
We will win this battle. We will be victorious.
Yes, we will. This is Shindo.
And this is Lucifera.
Signing off on this beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon.